Okay, new project, 2000 BMW E39 540i. This is a bit of a basket case car. It is advertised as a crank no start with about 140,000 miles. When I picked it up, it was a no crank no start. I do not know if the battery is dead. It had been in a shop. There are lots of electrical parts and components that are disconnected. So we're going to take this one step at a time and see what we see, and see if we can get this thing running again. According to Carfax, there are 10 previous owners in the past essentially 24 years. So about every 2 or 3 years there's a new owner. This was previously owned by a 25-year-old kid who, it was his first BMW. He had had it for about a year, running and driving. He says, woke up one morning and it was a crank no start situation. He replaced a lot of parts, threw the parts gun at it, and we will get into what has been done and what it's going to take to get it running. Okay, first off, with the car, 2 keys. One original diamond key wrapped in black electrical tape. One non-original key. I'm told this works the doors, and this non-original key works the ignition. So let's see. This diamond key does turn in the doors, does not affect the lock. The non-original key does not turn in the door. Opening the back door, significant water coming. So I would say that these door skins, these vapor barriers, are leaking dramatically. The sunshades are gone, both the vertical sunshade and the sunshade on the rear door, but lots of water pooled on the sill, so that means that door is full of water. Interestingly, you see a wire here going to I don't know what. I think the door pocket, that's actually the vapor barrier. That's the vapor barrier, so the door pocket is gone, but it could be anywhere because the inside of the car is full of parts. There's the glove box, some random assortment of fasteners, looks like engine covers, who knows what. Rear of car, wagon, if I didn't say that before, broken rear windshield wiper. That doesn't work. Rear hatch does not work. I don't know about power. We don't know if there's any juice in the batteries. So, back of the car, looking in, besides the beer sign, hard to see, came with an extra tire. Front passenger side, that's green, is some of the foam from under the carpet. The trim on the door threshold has been removed. I think they've been into the fuse panel here and they've ripped some of the foam out. Another panel, I think that is the panel that goes under the glove box. In fact, that I think is the threshold. If you look across, the threshold for the driver's door has been ripped off as well. Let's go to the rear door. Sunshade is also not present here or here. This door card is ripped open. Door pocket is intact here. Don't have the same pooling of water. There is moisture right here. There's some condensation. And besides the assortment of parts in the back seat. The rear window on the passenger side rear, clearly signs of tape. It is down about, I don't know, 3/8 of an inch, and clearly was taped to keep the water out. The sunroof seal looks atrocious. Someone has siliconed all around it, so that sunroof seal may very well be siliconed shut. In fact, I think that's what we have. Someone has siliconed the sunroof shut, so that will have to be cut open, cleaned, and have a new seal put on it. It's fantastic. Passenger side front seat is not bolted in. Bolts are out there and there. They are just laying there. So that seat has been out. In fact, the seat belt is, I believe, completely removed. Lord knows where that is. All right, we're picking stuff out of the back. It's mostly picked up. Remember, I had moisture that ran out of this door frame. It's about a half hour later. It's blazing hot outside. The carpet, I'm on the driver's side, and the carpet down here is damp. You can't see what I can feel, but let me see if I can. Think there's some water under there? I think so. I'm guessing the other side is just as bad, seeing as how the other side had the window open. So driver and passenger seat are coming out, carpet's coming up, and we have a drying out event to deal with. So lifted the rear seat out. Previous owner said they replaced the fuel pump and sending unit. I have receipts to that effect. I guess putting the bolts back is too much work. This does look fairly new. Go across. Same quality fastening job. This one doesn't look quite as new, but we'll have to explore this and all the electrical connections. Crank no start, often fuel, so we'll have to check into this, see if all the wires are intact. Looking into the rear cargo compartment underneath the roller cover, the seats are now folded down. Fuel cans, coolant bottles, old alternator box, new serpentine belt. There's the door pocket for the door. Cans of I don't know what. Tire. Working our way through it. Hey, one of the window roller shades. Also broken, typical, but there it is. Also in the initial removal of items from the back, assortment of fuses. Never a good sign. Looks like the interior of a diamond key, huh? Go figure. And this sure looks to me like a rigid vacuum line. How many of you are going to suggest vacuum leak? In the consumables that came with the car, I got a couple of empty gasoline cans. They're empty. A Prestone, all makes and models jug. This I can tell you is full of dirty motor oil. This one is full of not at all clean looking greenish coolant. It is definitely already been diluted or something else. I have STP Eurospec fully synthetic motor oil that appears to be dirty. So these are going straight to my auto parts store. I have a can of primer, a can of .3 brake fluid, and a can of Electromotive electric parts cleaner. That can't be good. So we will keep moving. All right. Car is empty now. I can't open the back door yet. I'll have to get power on the battery in a minute. But that is the condition. I haven't opened that compartment to see what's in there, and I don't know what's under the cover. That seatbelt won't retract. But there's nothing else in the car or in the door cards. The glove box is out, so that's pretty much everything out of the car. Let's take a look at everything. So this is large panels and parts, carpets and parts and foam from under the carpet, engine covers, more large panels. That's a little bag of hardware. That's irrelevant. Let's find out some interesting stuff. I'll deal with this that people are going to see and wonder about in a minute. We have a sending unit and fuel pump and fuel filter. Those have been replaced. There is a wheel speed sensor. I understand that to be new and never installed. There are a couple of other sensors, maybe camshaft position or the like, an alternator. So I understand there's an aftermarket alternator installed. So in this assortment, the oddball stuff is random piece of muffler pipe, marker, bad cut, I don't know anything. This bracket, I don't really recognize it. Maybe it's a fuel filter bracket that goes with fuel filter. I am not sure. Got a tire, a brand new tire, a Mavis all-season touring tire. I haven't looked at date code or size. I talked about consumables. Let's talk about the funny ones. Christmas tree, little bottle of Fireball. I may really want that later. Here is a container of clear silicone caulk. Maybe this is what caulked the sunroof shut. A tube of ultra black gasket maker, oil resistant. I understand the valve cover gaskets, or at least one of them was replaced. That may not be a good sign. One Autolite spark plug box and one spark plug NGK BKR6 EGP. I don't think this is the right spark plug for this engine. I'm not sure. I can't remember from the last time I did one. So that's not good. In the receipt department, 2 pairs of sunglasses from Go Tire in Newark. Labor for a starter, $210. BMW 340 wagon. Date of May or June, maybe June 2022. So about a year ago, a little over a year ago. Here's the wiring diagram for the EWS, the immobilizer. So somebody is playing with the immobilizer and trying to figure things out. They're trying to figure out the wiring from the fuse panel to the immobilizer. There's lots of highlighting going on. So that's interesting, and the previous owner thought there was a out-of-sync issue, but they went to the trouble of going to eBay and buying a used DME and immobilizer. So this is the used DME they bought from, I guess, this vendor. And they bought a DME and I think an immobilizer, but I haven't seen it, and so maybe it's in the car, but I don't know where the other one is. They also bought a new ignition switch with a diamond key, various pigtails. I haven't figured out. And interestingly, here is another DME. So we have 2, a DME 7 and a DME 1. I don't know what's actually in the car. This has a VIN number on it. I'll have to look at it. This one, though, is green, crusty, all over the place. Look at that. That is gross.
So lots of corrosion on this one. This one here that looks like it came from eBay looks cleaner. I'm not sure. No VIN information on it. I don't know whether it's all wiped off. I don't know how this works when you buy these on eBay. So we got a ways to go here in figuring this out. I had to bring you back. This is a big mat of plastic. This was balled up in the car and blue tape with a note. Very hard to read. I tried my best. It's very, very faint and hard to read, but I think it says, don't work. Next owner. I took care of her. I took care of her, I think. I think this says don't work, I think. Next owner. So whatever was in here, they're telling us doesn't work. I don't know what was in here. There's nothing in there now. Fascinating notes, I guess, for me. Lucky me. Okay, I'm in the back of the car. I cannot get the tailgate open. We're at the battery. Let's see what we've got. Positive in the slot and negative 5.1 volts. That's what I got, 5.1 volts. So let's hook up a charger and see how the charger behaves. All right, charger in the trunk. In my experience, if the floor under the carpet is flooded, it is getting a dead short through the water, and it doesn't behave well, and my charger will peg high-low, high-low, high-low. It trips on and off, so let's see what it does. I have plugged it in, and it indicates, well, that's a heck of a draw. That is a heck of a draw. And I think I am at 2 volt, or 2 amp, 12 volt 2 amp, so this is slow charge. That is a heck of a draw. I think that we are going to trip this charger in a second. Let's see if I can run the door switch and at least get power to the door. I have pressed the door switch. I did not hear a click. Let's see. I'll leave the phone right here. I'll leave the camera right here and see what happens. And I'm gonna try to open that back gate. The center console switch doesn't work. It looks like that draw is going down. Let me see if I can open the back tailgate. All right, well, obviously you saw, I think, in the background, that back tailgate opened. Maybe you didn't see it, but you may have heard it. The back tailgate did open once I had power, so we're gonna let it charge and see how it does.